We are ready to roll here. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2019 Minor Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. This is our 33rd annual induction event. We have 3 outstanding individuals, 1 team and 1 support group that are going into the Hall of Fame here today, and we certainly welcome all of you to our ceremony this afternoon here at Matt's Steakhouse. I'm going to begin, before we introduce some speakers here before our event, introduce the head table here to my left, here to my right, your right, my left, whatever you want to look at it here. Ron Henderson, the Assistant Director of Athletics. And see next to him, Debbie Hickey, Senior Women Administrator and Assistant Athletic Director here at Missouri S&T. Our Faculty Athletic Representative, David Westenberg. And a moment we're hearing to the 3 to my right here, Director of Athletics, Mark Mullen. Our Chancellor's been on the job, I think, 7 weeks now, is that correct?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Dr. Modigani. He's very happy today. His Tigers put up 66 points, I saw today, in their game down at Vanderbilt. So, and then the Mayor of the City of Rolla, Lou Magnitz. And we will begin with Chancellor Degani with some opening remarks here from the university.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's much better. Thank you very much for coming. I just asked Mark, what do I need to talk about? And he said about 5 minutes. So I'm going to talk about 5 minutes. First of all, let me just say that I am delighted to be here. This is a university with a tremendous history. As you know, next year we are going to celebrate our Cisco Centennial anniversary, 150 years. And 40 years ago, as an undergraduate student at LSU, when I was looking for potential graduate schools to go to, Missouri Rolla, which I still have a hard time changing that notion, was really one of the American crown jewels of engineering education. I always thought of it as a great institution with tech-centric programs, and I equated it to Madison, Wisconsin, and Ann Arbor, Michigan, and all the Big Tens in the Midwest, if you will, all 14 of them. And it wasn't until about 6 months ago or maybe 8 months ago, when I received a call for this position, and they said Missouri Science and Technology. And I said, is this Missouri Rolla? They said, yes. I said, yes. So I am truly delighted. And honestly, I think Missouri S&T is a gem. It's a hidden gem. And now I know that for a fact, because I've been here for 6 weeks, and I have talked to probably every groups of faculty, if not individuals, departments, programs, engineering, psychology, history, you name it. And the breadth and depth of the academics and all the supporting services for that is just truly second to none. There are faculty here that I knew before I came here. The actual correct statement is that I knew of their work before I came here. And I knew of their work when we were at critical positions and passes when I was at my other positions. I spent several years at Stevens Institute of Technology, and then before that, I spent many years at Johns Hopkins University, and before that I spent 12 years at UC Berkeley and Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Now, Livermore is a national strategic weapon laboratory, and we had some really critical projects. One of them had to deal with materials, and we were at an impasse for one of our problems, technical problems, and the solution actually came from Missouri Rolla. So that gives you a sense of the kinds of activities that go on here that really has put this institution for 150 years on the map, not only on the academic map, but a bright light bulb in the state of Missouri. Now, I don't say this in front of my boss, President Choi of the system, but back then, in the late 70s, when I used to think Missouri, I only knew 2 universities, to be honest about this. I knew Missouri Rolla as the science and technology, the geeky state university of the state, and I knew of Washington University, okay? I don't think I knew of Columbia. Now, that is my fault, because Columbia had been there. It's a very substantial state university, but I consider Missouri S&T as the premier science and technology university in the state of Missouri. Let me also give you another indication of the relevance and importance of Missouri S&T. We've had about 1,200 freshmen enrolling into the university this year. And I want you to guess the average GPA of the incoming freshmen that we had this year. What do you think it is? Is 3.5 a good guess? I see some heads shaking no. Like, my God, greedy, you know? 3.6? No. 3.7? So the average GPA of incoming freshman cohorts this year was 3.95. Okay? So I said that can't be. I sent it back to the Office of Registrars and Records, and I said, come on, give me the right number. They came back and said, Mo, it's 3.51. Is that better? I'm sorry, 3.951, okay? And then the average ACT score is 28.8. How many of you would like to compete with our freshmen coming in? No hands go up, okay. So then, let me tell you that we literally have 100% job offers after our people graduate, all right? So the number is actually somewhere around 89, 90%, but we cannot reach everyone. But when we look at the data and the statistics, it's really around 94, 95%, and there is always that 5 percentile that, you know, either they have chosen their parents properly in life, and they don't need work, if you will, or they decide to go goof around Europe for a few years, so they don't look for jobs, they don't answer our calls, right? But given that we have 100% placement, or they are athletes that they go and work for professional teams or you know, many other venues. Now, the average salary offer for our graduates, many of whom receive multiple offers, is about $64,000 with a bachelor's degree. All right? 10 years into their positions, the average is $120,000. Now I'll give you another data. The highest salary offer that has been made to a bachelor's degree graduate at Missouri S&T was $152,000. Now let me see a show of hand. How many of you would like to come back to S&T and get a bachelor's degree from us? So I say all of this for you to know that you have graduated from a remarkable institution, and the reputation is second to none. I mean, the data that I gave you as far as the ACT scores and the average GPA and all of that is truly Ivy League territory. And yet we are located right here in South Central Missouri. Now, there is a dichotomy associated with that reputation, where a lot of our high school graduates in the state of Missouri don't think they are qualified to enter Missouri S&T, okay? And that's the problem. 2-3 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of spending a day at Missouri State Fair. How many of you have ever been to State Fair? All right, good. Many more of you should go. It's a fun day, I guarantee you. And it doesn't change. 40 years ago, I went to Louisiana State Fair, and I couldn't tell the difference. It was just as much fun now as it was then. So I always try to do a little bit of work when I'm in places like this. There were a lot of 4-H volunteers, high school seniors and so on, that were tour guides around the fairgrounds. And I would take advantage of the opportunity and I'd ask them, well, what are your plans for the university? And they would name every university except S&T. You know, so I would say to them, well, how about Missouri S&T? Oh, no way I will ever be able to get there. And so there was a point of pride, obviously, you know, listening to that, thinking that the reputation is there. But then the reputation is also getting on our way. Our enrollment has been dropping, which is not a good thing. And now I know one of the reasons why, right? So when people like myself say things like the average GPA is 3.95, then if somebody out there is 3.8, they're like, I'm not gonna be able to get in, which is not true. There are a lot of late bloomers in life. I'm still counting on that myself. But the fact of the matter is that we need more people to come in, more students to benefit from the programs that this wonderful institution offers. So I task you to please become an ambassador for your university and encourage people to look at our websites, look at our programs. We really change lives. I mean, when people come in here, majority of whom are first generation college students, their lives are changed. Now, one last thing before these guys kick me out of here is that one of the problems that we have is our average graduation time. You know, people, how long they take to graduate. And our retention is an issue because ours is a challenging set of programs, and not everybody can finish it in 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. So our graduation rate for 6 years is actually only 65%, which is not a good thing, right? We can't lose 35% of people that come in because the programs are difficult. The great news here is that our athletic students, their graduation rate is higher, their GPA is higher significantly I think it's 80% our 6-year graduation rate, Mark. So it's hugely beneficial to our students to be involved in activities that all of you have been involved. And I'm actually dying to know the success rate 10 years after graduation of our student athletes versus the normal population. So that suggests one solution to our broad-based problem, which is only hire the student athletes. Why bother with the others, right? If the graduation rate is at 80%, we just go just enroll more jocks, you know? That'll solve the problem. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to see all of you here, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Chancellor. Next to the podium, we have the Mayor of the City of Rolla, Lou Magnitz.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting me here today. I would first like to welcome any out-of-town guest. We're very proud of our city and very much recognize and value our relationship with Missouri S&T. Many of our citizens really enjoy watching the various athletic events that the university has. I would also like to welcome any returning alumni. The faculty and staff here at Missouri S&T have prepared you well for your successful careers. The city of Rolla was your home for 4 years, maybe 5, maybe 6. But we very much hope that you have fond memories of your time with us. Before saying a few words about our Hall of Fame inductees, I would like to take a few minutes to talk about Mark Bullen. After a 35-year career at Missouri S&T as well as University of Missouri-Rolla, Mark has announced his retirement. From a young minor coach to athletic director, Mark's accomplishments are too numerous to mention here. I can only imagine how many young men and women he has favorably impacted over those 35 years. From time to time, I hear certain people referred to as Mr. UMR or Mr. Missouri S&T. They are typically well-respected faculty, staff, and alumni. They embody the skill, knowledge, and probably most importantly, the unwavering enthusiasm for everything and anything our university has to offer. I think Mark well deserves to also be recognized as Mr. Missouri S&T. Please join me in recognizing Mark for a great career. Today we're here to recognize and honor some of our student athletes. You are an impressive group. All of you had an academic curriculum that was rigorous. In addition to that, you have devoted countless hours to practicing and participating in your particular sport. You also had to make time for a social life. You not only achieved all of that, but you excelled at doing so. And this induction into the Hall of Fame is proof of that. To the 2019 Hall of Fame inductees, we are proud of your success, and all of you ought to be proud as well. I would like to read a proclamation on your behalf. Whereas Missouri Science and Technology continues to select athletic standouts to be inducted into the Missouri School of Mines, University of Missouri-Rolla, and Missouri S&T Athletic Hall of Fame. And whereas the university, community, fans, and friends take pride in the accomplishments of this special group of individuals. And whereas the Missouri School of Mines and Metallurgy, University of Missouri-Rolla, and University of Missouri Science and Technology has a proud tradition of more than 148 years of service to the interest of higher education. And whereas the 2019 inductees, Matthew Hugg, Jamie Webb McDonald, Candy Weiberg Spraggs, the 2007-2008 Missouri S&T swim team, and the Jacqueline Jocks have proven themselves to be among the best individuals to ever be involved in minor intercollegiate athletics. Now therefore, I, Louis Magnus IV, Mayor of the City of Rolla, do hereby proclaim September 21st, Missouri School of Mines, University of Missouri Rolla, Missouri S&T Athletic Hall of Fame Day. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from the Director of Athletics at Missouri S&T, Mark Mullen.
Thank you. And thank you for those kind words, Lou. I really appreciate it. I really didn't expect that. It kind of hit me. I am really excited. You know, first of all, Lou is obviously mayor of the city of Rolla, as you know, and but you know, we really enjoy our relationship with Lou, not just the city of Rolla, because Lou has been so active in everything that we do, and when we ask him to be involved, he jumps at the chance, and we really, really appreciate that. It's always been nice, you know, being here for 35 years almost at this time. I've seen the relationship between the university and the city grow, and it's really been tremendous to have somebody like Lou in recent years to share in a lot of the successes that we've been able to have here. And I can't tell you how excited I am to have Chancellor Degani here. It's tremendous. You know, we've gone a little while without a permanent chancellor. He's actually my 7th, and as my grandkids in the back there will tell you, my favorite number is 7. So I look for big things from Chancellor Degani in the future. On behalf of the Missouri S&T Athletic Department, I want to welcome everybody. I also want to welcome everybody on behalf of the Hall of Fame Committee. And I can't announce who those people are because that is a confidential committee. But they do hard work, and they meet every year to go through all of the past athletes, groups, teams that we have to make a selection on who we're going to induct in to our Hall of Fame. I think in my final year, it's really an appropriate class that we have being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I'm really excited to have them here with us. Today we'll be inducting an outstanding class into the elite group that makes up the Hall of Fame, and the honor is well deserved. These individuals, groups, and team members will now serve as role models for our present student athletes. Their plaques will be hung in our Hall of Fame room. They will be visited by our student athletes and guests that come into the department. And it will live on forever and ever. This is a special day. It's always, I'm filled with minor pride on every day of the week and every week of the year. But on this day, I'm even more so. It's something that really means a great deal to me, because what we're doing is recognizing those people that have really impacted our program and have served to build the storied history and tradition that we have here at Missouri S&T. And I know the names always get, you know, we have MSM here with the Jackling Jocks, obviously. We have UMR, we have S&T. The name changes really have never bothered me the way they do some alums, because we're all minors, and I think that's the important thing. Today we will be inducting the 2007-2008 swimming team. That was not only a team that made many new standards and had the highest finish of any team we've ever had in minor sports history. It was also a group of motivated and driven young men who were outstanding representatives of our institution, not only in the pool, but outside of the pool as well. As you know, I came to then UMR as a swimming coach, so I really feel fortunate to have had the opportunity to watch them, to see them succeed, and to also see someone who served as an assistant coach for me, exceed as a coach, and him and the team at the very highest level you could. Gentlemen, we are proud to have you here. You represented us well when you were here, and you continue to do so now. We will induct outstanding three outstanding student athletes into our class. Their accomplishments obviously make them deserving of the induction, and they were among the very best that we've ever had that have donned a Miner uniform. I feel particularly qualified to comment on them because I've got to see every one of them compete here. They represented the Miners not only with great skill on their chosen field of play, but they also, in every facet of their lives, have demonstrated passion, respect, and character. Jamie, Candy, Matt, you were tremendous while you were here. I know you continue to be now, and I'm very honored to have you as a part of the induction class this year. And of course, I'm always happy to have you as a part of the Miner family. And of course, we induct the first group we've ever inducted other than a team, the Jackling Jocks. Who are the Jackling Jocks? We'll hear a little bit about them in a few minutes, and we'll hear from one of the Jackling Jocks. But they are what I would say epitomizes the family value that we preach about Miner athletics and what it is. If you talk to my staff, they get sick of hearing me say family, because that's really what we're trying to emulate in our department, is be a family. And so it's, I think that the Jackling Jocks really taught me a little bit about that along the way, because I was a young AD when I got involved in them, with them, and they certainly taught me how much they cared about one another and supported one another, and we're so very proud to be Miners. And it really made an impact on my life and career, and I thank them for that. We will induct the group today, and we will honor some of the pioneers and organizers that made it possible to not only start the organization but continue it and keep it going to today. Gentlemen, you mean a great deal to me, and I'm happy that your legacy will live forever as members of the Hall of Fame. All of our inductees were driven, competitive individuals who were intent upon being successful at the highest level, is what we preach for our student athletes. Their success did not end on the playing field, continued in life. They demonstrated great leadership and compassion in every facet of their lives, and they have gone on to personal and professional success and are living role models for our student athletes presently. Today's inductees shine a bright light upon Miner athletics. It never has shined brighter than today, and as they become a permanent part of the Miner Hall of Fame. This is always a great day for all of those who love the Miners and tradition. Today is a day to celebrate. It's a day of celebration, perseverance, and achievement. Perseverance that demonstrates the possibilities that exist if you're determined enough and committed enough. An achievement that inspires others to reach for the stars. I'm extremely proud of our inductees' accomplishments, and on behalf of Miner Athletics, I congratulate you and wish you the very best. And as always, go Miners!
Thank you, Mark. Before we introduce the 2019 induction class, I'd like to first recognize the past inductees who are in attendance with us here this afternoon. We have 6 individuals who have joined the Hall of Fame either individually or as part of teams. Beginning over this part of the room, Carrie Hessel de Graffenried, who's assistant coach for the 2007-08 women's basketball team, was inducted a year ago. Lisa Frumhoff, member of the 2002 induction class. Lisa here. Didn't make it. Doug Grooms, who was the coach of the 2002 swimming team and the coach of the team that will be getting inducted here this afternoon. Dale Martin, I don't know if Dale's still here. He was here earlier. He had another commitment this afternoon, but he was the head coach of the 1995-96 men's basketball team. It was in inducted several years ago. Director of Athletics Mark Mullen, who was the head coach of 2 swimming teams that were inducted into the Hall of Fame, 1986 and 1998. And a member of the inaugural induction class back in 1987. I think he's been at every ceremony since then, which is great to see, John Sturm. They are part of the 169 individuals and 24 teams that have been inducted to the Hall of Fame prior to today. And now let's meet our 2019 induction class, beginning with Matt Hugg, member of the class of 2008. Come on forward, Matt. Come on up, Matt. Matt was a standout performer in the minor swing program. He captured 20 All-America awards and helped the minors to top 3 finishes on national level, including a 2nd place finish in 2008. He had 6 top 8 finishes at the 2008 NCAA Division II Championships, which included a 5th place finish individually in the 1,000 and 1,650 yard freestyle, and a 4th place showing as the anchor of the 800 yard freestyle relay. His highest national finish was a 3rd place showing in 2007 in both the 500 and 1,000 yard freestyle events. In addition to those awards at the national level, he won 5 conference championships during his career and finished among the top 3 at the conference level, either individually or as part of a relay team, on 13 occasions. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Hugg.
I don't know what they're thinking giving an attorney the floor, but I'll try to be brief. Well, it's safe to say that Rolla's academic workload is more rigorous than the average university. And getting up in the wee hours of the morning to jump into freezing cold water, that can add a little stress to your day as well. But being surrounded by a group of individuals who are dedicated to excellence and a fair bit of competition, it makes the burden so much easier. I don't know about you guys, but for myself, my accomplishments were I accomplished so much more trying to live up to the example of the hard work and tenacity of those around me. And so to the Rolla swim team, thank you. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for pushing your teammates. Thank you for pushing the team to be the best. And congratulations. You've certainly deserve all the honor that you're receiving today. And I mean, we had some great swims and culmination of years of work, so well done, guys. I also need to thank Coach Grooms, whose genius brought this stellar team together. Well, maybe not genius, but he managed it somehow. And led us to a 2nd place in nationals. I'd also like to take a moment to congratulate Jamie and, oh my gosh, Candy. Losing it. Our journey here has given us appreciation of the sort of trials you've likely gone through to get to the, well, that's gone. to get here as well. Good job. And lastly, there's a lot of parents here, and I'm sure you're all bubbling with pride over all your children's accomplishments. And I have to say thank you. Thank you for nurturing our passion. Thank you for supporting us through our time, and we just couldn't have done it without you.
Our next inductee this afternoon is Jamie Webb McDonald from the class of 2006. As a member of the women's track and field program, Jamie became one of the best sprinters in the MIAA during her career, which included conference championships on 3 occasions, and would also earn her All-America honors along the way when she finished 8th at the 2005 NCAA Division II Championship in the 100-meter dash. As a minor, she established school records in the sprints, setting records in the indoor 60-meter dash at 7.69 seconds, the indoor 200 meters at 25.61 seconds, while also establishing marks in the outdoor 100 meters at 11.95 seconds and 200 meters at a time of 24.37 seconds. Jamie qualified for the NCAA Division II National Meet on 4 occasions during her minor career. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Webb McDonald.
Hi, everybody. I took a couple notes. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't speak on like all the time. I'm an engineer. I put my head down. I just work. So I would just want to say it's an honor to be here. It's something that I just hoped would happen, but I just really didn't just think it would. So I'm just happy to be here. I would like to start off by thanking my family and friends, those who are here and those who couldn't come. I just wouldn't be here without your support. Just all of those years, just going to like the AAU meets, and then once I came here for school, just all of your help. I just couldn't be here without you. To Coach Sarah, Coach Jason, Coach Sterling, and Coach Brian, this is for you all. You all too. You just really just pushed me to just do my best every year. Just running all of those hills, all of those 200s, all of those 300s, just over and over and over. Just thanks for all of your help. We've sort of grown to just be lifelong friends now. Just going to weddings. They just have come to help us to celebrate all of our kids being born, and we've just come to support them too. So it's been more than just about sports over the years. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee as well. I know this, once that letter came, like I saw it and I was just opening up the mail, and when I opened it up, like I was just truly speechless. Like I just didn't say anything. I just like stared at it and I was like, oh my God. And I walked upstairs to Roderick, and he had all of the boys in the in a bathtub, and I just handed it to him, and I was like, look, and he just went like nuts, you know, but like I was speechless then, and I'm still speechless now, but thank you. It just really feels good to be a part of the minor legacy now, and to just help inspire the next generation. What else did I want to say? So it just being a part of the track team for those 4 years were just some of the best years of my life, and just to have this honor now is sort of just the icing on the cake for 16 years that I spent in this sport. So thank you. And to my 4 sons, Rocket, Jet, Tyson, and Bear, I've said it for years, you know, mommy is faster than your dad. So now I think that this officially seals the deal, and he just can't say that he's faster than mommy now. So yeah, and that's all I have. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Candy Weberg-Spraggs from the class of 2008. Candy left her name prominently in the Missouri S&T softball record book during a standout 4-year career in the program, finishing the all-time leader in home runs with 34, runs scored 169, and walks with 98 this year, and All-America honors following both her junior and senior seasons. 2007 GLVC Player of the Year, Candy also ranked second on the S&T career list with 223 hits, 49 doubles, including a school record 21 in the 2007 campaign, in which the Miners made it to the NCAA tournament, and third on the list with 105 runs batted in and 73 stolen bases. Candy was a 2-time first-team All-GLVC selection. She is also the only player in program history with multiple 5-hit games, and she finished her career with a .347 batting average. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Weberg-Spraggs.
Thank you, John. And thanks, yeah, a little shorter. Just a little. Thanks for everybody that came here to support us today. Like as Matt said, all the parents I'm sure are beaming, and I particularly want to say thank you to my family who showed up today. I've got 2 nieces here and my sister, my parents and my loving husband, so thank you. Seeing all the new faces and old faces of the athletic staff here at Rolla and talking, sharing stories just makes all the memories flood back, and gets me thinking about, you know, people I meet and they ask me, you know, or they find out I played college softball, and they ask, hey, do you miss it? And I say, well, that's kind of a loaded question. I do miss playing. I love the game. Going to school here, as Matt also touched on, wasn't easy. You always had practices, and you wanted to practice more, but you had to study, or vice versa, and it was very rigorous. But being surrounded by the support staff that we were, and the excellent athletes, student athletes that we had at the school, made it a lot easier on us all. And thinking about what I wanted to say today, I wanted to go back through you know, my whole life and just say thank you to whoever helped me get to this point, right? It seems only appropriate, but I quickly realized that was going to take way too long. So to spare you all, I'm just going to kind of get to the point that I wanted to touch on, and that was that my life has been a life of chances. Chances people have chosen to take on me from club ball coaches who took a chance on a very young, small player, to Coach Anderson and Missouri S&T, well, UMR at that time, taking a chance on me as a student athlete. Although Coach Anderson probably didn't have much of a choice. My past club ball coach, I wasn't playing with him at the time, but he was someone I had played with for 3 years, found out I wanted to go to Rolla, and he decided he was going to call the coach and just, you know, tell him what kind of player I was and what kind of person I was. And the voicemail's timeout, right? So it was Coach Anderson's first year, so he probably didn't have much time or was not at his desk very often. But anyway, the coach called and he left 6 messages. So called, timeout. It wasn't enough time, so he'd call back and pick right back where he left off. And Coach Anderson told me that. I was like, oh, okay, that's why I got here. You were probably scared for your life. Coach Kennedy, who's also here today, he took a huge chance on me when he allowed me to play injured. I actually thought he was a bad luck charm, I guess, when he got hired my junior year, because, you know, freshman, sophomore year, actually Coach Anderson kind of coached us in flag football. So we were just continuing to play intramurals, right? So I was like, oh, Coach Kennedy, you need to come watch us play. We had quite a few girls from the softball team on the flag football team. Well, I think it was about halfway through the game, and I hurt my knee. Didn't try to go back in, but it didn't quite work. So went to the trainers, and a couple of weeks, probably more like a month or so went by, and I think it was Christmas break. I went back to the doctor to see, you know, what was wrong. I tore my ACL. This was over Christmas break, so Coach Kennedy wasn't around. I asked the doctor, you know, is it okay to play on it? And he's like, well, you can't really screw it up any worse. I mean, it's torn, right? So just put a brace on, you'll be all right. So I called Coach Kennedy and I said, I really want to play this season. I don't want to take a break. And without me playing that season, I may not be here today. That was one of the best seasons. Well, it was the best season. I just play well hurt, I guess. Should have just torn the other ACL the next year, and maybe we would have set some more records. But and finally, the people that took the most chances on me out of anybody combined would be my parents. From buying uniforms to traveling across the nation to play ball, to 2.5-hour drives for a 4-hour practice on a Sunday afternoon to drive right back and go back to work and do it again in the middle of the week. So, thank you. Thank you to anybody that ever took chances on me. Just cover blank sheet there if I forgot anybody. And also, I wanted to thank my teammates who, there's none here today, but I played with some very amazing young women. We won as a team, we lost as a team, and we tried to support each other as much as we could along the way. Made some lifelong friendships and relationships, and that, along with the experience this university gave me, is something I get to keep the rest of my life. So thank you for making me a member of your club. Thank you.
Our team induction this year goes to the 2007-08 swimming team, which recorded the highest finish ever by a minor team in an NCAA competition, placing second at the national meet that season. We had 19 top 8 finishes, 125 All-America efforts. Zlatan Hamzic posted the highest finish individually, as he took second in the 200-yard breaststroke a day after finishing third in the 100-yard breaststroke. Miners also had a third-place finish with his 400-yard medley relay team of Kyle Kammer, Zlatan Hamzic, Paul Reinisch, and David Sanchez-Turner, and a trio of top 8 finishers in the 200-yard backstroke in Jeff Engie, Kyle Kammer, and Aaron Schmidt. Matt Hugg earned 6 All-America awards during the 4-day competition held in Columbia, Missouri. This time we're going to introduce the members of the 2007-08 swimming team. Come forward Receive your plaque here from Director of Athletics Mark Mullen. First, Mitch Bergeron. Mark Chamberlain. Jeff Engie. Brian Howell. Matt Hugg. Kyle Kammer. Dan Murphy. Paul Reinisch. David Sanchez Turner. Aaron Schmidt. Dustin Speaker. Rory Swift. Andrew Trowbridge. And the head coach of the 2007-08 minor swimming team, Doug Grooms. And Coach Grooms have a few words about this team here for us.
I'm not an attorney and I'm not an engineer. They all know that. We probably should have Ingy talk, shouldn't we? He's a talker. Oh, I don't write speeches, so my wife kind of laughs at me because I'm not prepared. This was a great group. It probably started off. That's not me. I thought we were going to be pretty good when it came down to we always start the season with an inter-squad meet. The inter-squad meet came down to the last event, the last relay, and the final score ended up 48-47. Pretty competitive team, pretty balanced group. We had some great races. You heard about Hug. I mean, he was phenomenal and just had some great swimmers. It takes a lot to put those guys together and become the team that we were. We went to a meet in November at Western Kentucky, a big Division I school. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but we got waxed. It was ugly, but 2 weeks later, after Thanksgiving break, we went down to Arkansas, Little Rock. Western Kentucky was there. Missouri State was there. Of course, Drury. And after day one, the Western Kentucky coach came up to me and he said, "Who are these guys you brought with you this week?" That's a different team than we saw 2 weeks ago down at Western. So as the meet ended on day two, and we waxed Missouri State, we waxed Western Kentucky, we waxed Drury, came home with the championship, I thought we might be pretty good. And we qualified most of our team for nationals at that meet. We went to the conference championship. We really looked not very good, if you guys remember that. We were 4th or 5th in a few of the relays at the conference. That's not a good thing. But we were so deep, we had so many great swimmers on that team. We still won pretty handily. We got the NCAAs, and we're coming off 4th place finish from 2007, and we were obviously pretty good. We're in 6th place after day one. We knew it was maybe not our best day, at least I knew it. 5th place after day two, moving up. You know, maybe we get back to 4th or something on, you know, by the end. Well, after day three, we were 4th, and then we decided on the last day, we had some young guys that we hadn't really busted out yet in our 200 backstroke group. Prelims, we start out in, it's probably the greatest session in swimming history here. 100 freestyle, Sanchez and Cage, Kyle Gordon get, I think, 6th and 9th. 200 backstroke, we put Ingy, Kyle and Aaron in the top 8. Brian just missed, I think he was 17th. Moving on to the 200 breaststroke, Z and David Calcara make top 8 championship finals. And all of a sudden, the 2nd place coach from Westchester said to me, "I cannot believe you just did that to us." I said, "Wait till tonight." So we got first event up, Trowbridge and Hug in the 1650, both make top 8, and it was over with. We rolled on in the 100, and we rolled in the 200 back and the 2 breast. Got to the free relay. I said, "Guys, all we have to do is finish, and we're guaranteed 2nd place. Do not false start." We proceeded to stand on the blocks, watch the guys touch, get last place in championship finals. Looked terrible in doing it. It didn't matter. Just unbelievable finish to a great season, a great group of guys. Obviously, we worked incredibly hard for it. Too bad tonight we had 4 guys that couldn't make it. David Calcara, Z, Zlatan Hamzic, Kyle Gordon, and who am I leaving out? Zach Lemons, which were all huge parts of that team as well. Scored a lot of those guys. Heard Z's name, he scored. He was amazing at NCAA's that year as a freshman. But just a great group. I had great help from Scott Karen, who was a volunteer assistant from. He was the center, the director of the center. Came over, volunteered, did a tremendous job working with the guys. Chris Schuber as a student assistant in his 5th year. We're all a part of that too. So great group. We had fun. Well, I had fun. There were days it wasn't fun. I think the mayor touched on, you know, academics and social. We had a lot of those academic guys. We had a few of those social guys. But all in all, great athletes, and they've gone on to do great things. So congratulations to the guys. Not everybody might agree, but best team in minor history. So congrats.
We do want to do a picture with you guys afterwards on the garden also, so along with the other inductees are here today, so we'll get something done as soon as our ceremony is over with here. Our last induction group today will be the Jackling Jocks, a group of former student athletes at the university who have continued their association with Missouri S&T as strong supporters of the minor program. The core group, which gained the name as many of them lived in Jackling Gym while attending the institution and competing in athletics, began back in the 1950s, and this group has stayed together through reunions that began in the late 1990s. The individuals who make up this group have continued a close association with the program, as many of them became members of the Academy of Minor Athletics, and also a number of them have also created scholarship funds to help the program continue growing for the future. We have a few members of the Jackling Jocks here today, beginning with the core group. We'll have come forward here to pick up a plaque here from Director of Athletics Mark Mullen. First, we have Perry Allison. Perry competed in football and track. He's a mechanical engineering major, graduated in 1959, and is also a member of the Hall of Fame. Dick Boyette. Member of the football program, civil engineering major, graduated in 1958. I saw Delbert Day here. Is he still here? Okay. Bill Engelhart. Played football here at the institution, mechanical engineering major, graduated in 1960. Don McGovern. Played football, also mechanical engineering major, graduated in 1958. And who are we going to have speak on behalf of this group? Dick Boyette. Dick Boyette is going to speak. Come on back. You guys come over. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Unfortunately for you all, they didn't save the best to last. Jackling Jocks. There's a picture over here that that's a painting that I did in 2008, and it kind of epitomizes Jackling Gym. Jackling Gym was built from donations from an alumni from his school. His name was Daniel C. Jackling. He graduated in mining and metallurgical engineering, and he graduated in 1891. And he ultimately got into the copper mining business and started a place called Bingham Canyon, Utah. And he developed a process as a metallurgist to process low-grade copper ore. That was Kennecott copper. And when he finished his career and made so much money, why, he donated a gymnasium and Jackling Field to the school. Well, the gym stood exactly where the library is today. We think it's kind of a travesty, but that was, and the field was right next to it. I want to thank the Academy, the the committee for nominating us for this, and especially thank Mark Mullins and Susan Cochran. I mean, they're the heartbeat of these things, and they always do a great job for us when we have our meetings. But I'll start out by saying there's the four of us here played our last game in minor football 62 years ago this fall, and that's a long time ago. But when I came to school, it was in 1954, so I come into, they asked if I wanted to live in the gym. I said, yeah, I'd be great, because rooms back then were $30 a month, about anywhere. If you was in a fraternity, it might have been a little higher, but it was 30 bucks a month. And so that gym had, on the bottom floor, there was a swimming pool. It's small, but and that was in the bottom. The first floor was a balcony around the pool, and a walkway around that, and some lockers and some rooms for student athletes. And then there, on about the third floor, there was a basketball court and 2 handball courts, and then other rooms. And when I say rooms, these rooms were small rooms. They generally contained bunk beds and a bureau and a study desk, and they were very Spartan to live in. I mean, but guys that lived there, there were basketball players, football players, swimmers, track guys, and there was room for about 26 student athletes in the gym. And when I came to school in 54, the Korean War was just over in 53. So when I showed up at age 18 on the campus and we started practice like 2-a-days. We were playing with guys that had already served 3 and 4 years in the military before they got to school, and they were going to school on the GI Bill of Rights. And so here you've got this really mix of types of athletes and ages, and what an experience that it was. What an experience it was. For instance, my sophomore year, our team captain was Jim Murphy from Connecticut. He had been a captain in the Army Rangers in Korea. And here you are, 18 or 19, playing with guys of that stature. So it was a different time and a different place. But guys that lived there, we became known as Jacqueline Jocks. And school was different then than it is now, quite a bit different. The tuition then, for instance, was $95 if you was in-state. It cost an extra $100 for extra $100 if you was out of state. So I lived in come from Southern Illinois, so my tuition was like $195. So you look, and that was all the hours you could carry. You know, it wasn't by the hour, and you had to take more hours than you wanted to anyhow. So it was a great experience to do that and go to school. And we all survived through it. And when we graduated, we went different directions, but we always stayed kind of close. And we'd call back and forth. And then about 1997, there was 5 of us got together in Tulsa because Bill Englehart had a pump factory in Tulsa, and so we all met at his place. And there was Chick Boren from Fort Smith, Arkansas, and myself. Perry Allison lived in Tulsa, and Lewis Whitehair. And Lewis was from Barbersville, Oklahoma, and he was living in St. Louis at the time. But 5 of us met in Fort Smith and got together had a great time, and then within the next few months, we met again and we decided we should have a Jacqueline Jock reunion. So in 1998, we met in Hot Springs, and we had a really good turnout. We had like probably 40, 50 people show up. And then then we started meeting started meeting at different places throughout, and I was going to tell you that we had meetings in Kansas City, Branson, Tulsa, St. Louis, New Orleans, Salt Lake City, San Antonio, and our wives would always be with us, and our wives were an integral part of our group, and they still are, as they were always supportive and put up with the old stories. And we always remember our coaches. Our coaches were Gail Bowman. Some of you might know the Bowman Center over there. Gail Bowman, Dewey Allgood, and Burr Van Nostrand. That was our coaches. At that time, Gail head coached football and track, and Dewey coached basketball and football, and Burr coached football and swimming. So their offices were in the gym. So we were under good scrutiny part of the time. It was the rest of the time that was really wild. But what a time we had. But after we started meeting and gathering and at different places, we started alternating then with coming to Rolla every other year for homecoming. And during this period of time, Bill Englehart said we need to do something for the school, and he said, let's start a scholarship fund. So we did, and we funded a scholarship fund and got it going pretty good. And then the school had a deal that said, if you'll put up $15,000, we'll match it for a scholarship fund. So we started another scholarship fund. So we now still have the two funds, and it's a pleasure every year to meet with the student athletes that we sponsor. And we have no hand in seeing who gets the scholarships. The coaches take care of that, but it's always a pleasure to do that, and it's always a real thrill to come back to school to see how it's grown. When we were in school, there were about 2,000 students here, and the attrition rate was horrendous, just like it is today. Everybody that starts here don't end up here. That was for sure, and so I thank you all for the opportunity to talk to you and about a little bit about Jacqueline Jocks and Jacqueline Jim. And I recall Gail Bowman was not famous for halftime speeches. He was famous for a lot of things, and there's a million stories about him, and I wish we all had time to hear some of them. But Gail said at Kirksville one night, and it was cold. That's in northern Arkansas. I mean northern Missouri, and it's cold up there. And it was cold, and it had sleeted, and ice was on the field, and it was just bitter out. And Gail was giving us a halftime talk, and he was trying to kind of get us up. Of course, we were losing. We did that a lot too, but he said this. I've never forgotten it. He said, "It's not about the football." He said, "It's about you being together and you playing." He said, "You're making friends right now that you'll have the rest of your life." That's true. Thank you.
As part of the Jacqueline Jobs group, I'd like to also mention two other individuals who have gotten involved with this group here a little bit later that are in attendance today. First, Bob Lewis. Raise your hand, Bob, if you're in the audience back here. Bob played basketball here, graduated in 1961 with a civil engineering degree. And Bill Stoltz, in the very back. Engineering management major in 1968, competed in football and golf here at the institution. Thank you for attending today as well. Following the ceremony, we'd like to get the inductees out in the garden, as I mentioned earlier, for some pictures here afterwards. Let's give a nice hand to our inductees today. Matt Hugg, David Webb McDonald, Andy Weaver Spragues, the swimming team from 2007-08, and the Jackson Jocks. And to close out things here today, I'm going to turn the podium back over to Mark for some closing remarks here.
Thank you. As always, great show. Just really touches many people in terms of the people that we induct each year. It obviously brings back a lot of memories for a lot of people and keeps people in our hearts and minds as we go into the future. I do want to say a few things that are just as important as anything we've done, and one is this event could never be possible without the assistance of our staff, the planning and organization that goes into it. It's not a one-day deal. This happens over a long period of time, and a lot of hard work to do it. And the individual who takes a great deal of ownership in this and does probably the most in the planning part of this for sure is Susan Cochran. Susan, would you stand? Yeah, wave. Yeah, thank you. She does a tremendous job, and it's not, I don't think for her it's a job. It's something that she really takes a lot of pride in, as I do and many others in our department. I do need to remind the inductees and guests a few things before we depart. One is we'd like to get all the inductees, as John said, together outside here so we can get some good pictures. We will be opening the Hall of Fame room in about 20 minutes. And we invite you to come by the Hall of Fame room. There will be plaques in the room of our inductees, and you can visit in there. We'll keep it open for quite a while, so if you get over that way a little bit later, you could probably sneak in there as well. Also, inductees, if you've not gotten your tickets for the game tonight for your guests and you, please do so. See Susan, and she can get you hooked up with that. Also, the game will start at 7 p.m. We will have a ceremony on the track in front of the stands at halftime. If inductees, all the inductees will just come down during the band performance and meet me on the sidewalk there by the fence, right in the center part of the home stand side where you'll be sitting. That would be great, and then we'll make our way out there, and we will end halftime with a nice fireworks ceremony, which will be nice, boom, 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 by the students, and it should be a lot of fun. So if you have any questions or anything, catch us before you get out of here. I would like to thank not only our inductees and their guests, but all the others that joined us today. As I said, this is always a wonderful time. I always enjoy this and celebrate the enshrinement of the individuals that go in each and every year, and I hope to see every one of you, and if you want, bring a few friends for a Miner victory tonight. And as always, go Miners.
At this time, we direct your attention to the track for a special halftime ceremony. Earlier this afternoon, the 33rd class of the Miner Athletic Hall of Fame was inducted, and at this time we'd like to introduce the newest inductees to the Hall of Fame. First, the individual inductees, beginning with Matt Hugg from the class of 2008. Matt was an outstanding performer in the minor swing program, capturing 20 All-America awards and helping lead S&T to a pair of top 3 finishes on the national level, including a second place finish in 2008, the highest finish ever for the minors in a national meet. He had 6 top 8 finishes in 2008 NCAA Division II championships, which included 5th place finishes individually in the 1,000 and 1,650 yard freestyle, and a 4th place showing as the anchor of the 800-yard freestyle relay. His highest national finish was a 3rd place showing in 2007 in both the 500 and 1,000-yard freestyles. In addition, Matt won 5 conference championships during his career and finished among the top 3 at the conference level, either individually or as part of a relay team on 13 occasions. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Hugg. Next we have Jamie Webb McDonald from the class of 2006. As a member of the women's track and field program, Jamie became one of the best sprinters in the MIAA during her career, which included conference championships on 3 occasions, and would also earn All-America honors along the way when she finished 8th in the 100-meter dash at the 2005 NCAA Division II Championships. As a minor, she established school records in the sprints, setting records in the 60-meter dash in 7.69 seconds, indoor 200 meters at 25.61 seconds, outdoor 100 meters at 11.95 seconds, and 200 meters with a time of 24.37 seconds. Jamie qualified for the NCAA National Meet on 4 occasions during her career. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Webb McDonald. Next we have Candy Weberg Spraggs from the class of 2008. Candy left her name prominently in the Missouri ST softball record book during a standout 4-year career, finishing as the all-time leader in home runs with 34, runs scored with 169, and walks with 98 as she earned All-America honors following both her junior and senior seasons. The 2007 GLVC Player of the Year, Candy also ranked 2nd on the S&T career list with 223 hits, 49 doubles, which included a school record 21 in 2007 when the Miners made the NCAA tournament, and 3rd on the list with 105 runs batted in and 73 stolen bases. A 2-time first-team All-GLVC selection, she's also the only player in program history with multiple 5-hit games and finished her career with a 347 batting average. Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Weberg Spraggs. This year's team induction was for the 2007-08 minor swimming team, which recorded the highest finish ever by a minor team in an NCAA competition, placing 2nd at the national meet that season behind 19 top 8 finishes and over 25 All-American records. Todd Hamzich recorded the highest finish individually among the minors, taking 2nd in the 200-yard breaststroke, a day after finishing 3rd in the 100-meter breaststroke, or 100-yard breaststroke, excuse me. While the Miners also won a 3rd place finish from his 400-yard medley relay team of Kyle Kammer, Zlatan Hamzic, Paul Reinisch, and David Sanchez Turner, and a trio of top 8 finishes in the 200-yard backstroke in Jeff Engie, Kyle Kammer, and Aaron Schmidt. Matt Hugg earned 6 All-America awards during the 4-day competition. The members of the minor swimming team we have here on hand tonight are as follows: Mitch Bergerin, David Calcara, Mark Chamberlain, Jeff Engie, Brian Howell, Matt Hugg, Kyle Kammer, Dan Murphy, Paul Reinisch, David Sanchez Turner, Aaron Schmidt, Justin Speaker, Rory Swift, Andrew Trowbridge, and the head coach of the 2007-08 Miners, Doug Brooms. Also inducted into the Hall of Fame today were the Jacqueline Jocks, a group of former student athletes at the university who have continued their association with Missouri S&T as strong supporters of the minor athletic program. The core group, who gained the name as many of them lived in Jacqueline Gym while attending the institution and competing in athletics, began back in the 1950s, and this group stayed together through reunions that began in the 1990s. The individuals who make up this group have continued a close association with the program, with many of them becoming members of the Academy of Minor Athletics, and several of them also created scholarship funds to help the program continue growing for the future. The Jacqueline Jock members on the track with us tonight: Perry Allison from the class of 1959, Dick Boyette from the class of 1958, Bill Engerhart from the class of 1960, and Don McGovern from the class of 1958. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice hand to the 2019 Missouri S&T Athletic Hall of Fame class. Matt Hug, Katie Webb McDonald, Katie Weaver Spraggs, the 2007-08 minor swimming team, and the Jackling Jocks. And now at this time, we ask you to direct your attention to the skies beyond the scoreboard at the south end of the stadium for tonight's Missouri State Fireworks Show.